Welcome back to Just Another Statistic, where Izzy and I lay bare our transformative journey from structured faith to personal spirituality and challenge assumptions along the way.
Today, we're diving into a topic that has recently sparked a lot of conversation and, frankly, a lot of misconception. A new story circulated about a publication that reportedly paid some Etsy witches to curse someone.
Now, we must state up front that we are deliberately steering clear of the political aspects of this particular situation. The publication itself clarified that the article was humorous and intended as satire, making it clear no physical harm was wished, and later removed the text out of caution and compassion, not a change in editorial judgment. Our focus today is not on the people involved, but in the assumptions that this kind of headline generates about witchcraft and spiritual practices.
Exactly. When the term witchcraft hits the mainstream in such a sensational way, it often conjures up caricatures. So we felt it was vital to address those assumptions head on and explain that these spiritual practices what these spiritual practices actually entail and what they definitely don't.
We'll be exploring foundational concepts like spiritual vibrations and how they affect you, clarifying what hexing truly is versus the common stereotypes, discussing how karma plays into our actions, and emphasizing the profound power of words and intent. We'll also make the point that a prayer, if used negatively, can be energetically akin to a hex. Ultimately, we want to highlight that hate towards another group or person carries significant consequences, no matter how it's presented.
So we're going to start with vibrations and a little brief information on vibrations. Like everything in the universe is energy, and this energy vibrates at different frequencies. Higher frequencies are associated with positive emotions such as joy, love, and peace, while lower frequencies correlate with feelings like fear, anger, and sadness. Negative vibrations can be incredibly draining, disrupt emotional balance, and manifest in various health issues. So, Sarah, do you have a different understanding of vibrations?
Nope. Okay. Just to kind of put a little bit more on that, like if you think about it musically, hertz, vibrations, everything has it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And like you can tell when somebody has like negative feelings towards you. That's why you see so many spiritual people and witches wearing evil eyes, because it just bounces off that negative feeling. It's not really something that a person is trying, like they're trying to hurt you. The evil eye often is described as like counteracting like jealousy, like when the feelings don't really elicit harm, but they're still negative. So there's a lot of that in the world. So okay. How do you feel that Jezebel's actions of arranging for spells with negative, even if minor intentions, like a malfunctioning microphone or causing of a zit, reflect the idea of directing concentrated negative energetic intent?
There's so much to unpack in this one, honestly. So first, just to clarify, we're going off of the article that was online
a week ago.
Yeah. By the publication Jezebel. And
which the article has been completely taken down at this point. It's not on the site anymore.
Really? Because I found it, but it's like I was reading it the other day. Basically, how I feel about it is that you shouldn't be doing things with the intention of negative towards anybody.
Yeah.
Like, even growing up in the church, one of the 10 commandments, you know, or like the commands that we are always taught is never to think ill of our brother because it's murder in your heart.
Yes.
So
my mom used to tell us that saying hate was the same as murdering somebody.
Yeah. I hate somebody, so you're murdering them.
Yeah.
You know, but along those lines.
That's a very drastic version, but
yeah, that's what we grew up with.
Yeah.
But like, that's kind of what I guess my basis is. You shouldn't be throwing so much negativity on other people.
Yeah.
Because it's going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that's the thing that I come back to is like, what was in, you know, the writer's heart, the publication's heart, to feel the need, even if it's a joke, to do that. Like, it's a mean joke.
Yeah.
And I get, like, some might consider this political, not some, a lot of people consider this political commentator to be a bully. That doesn't mean that you turn around and bully them
right back. Yeah. Because in the end, hate doesn't cancel out hate. That's kind of where, like,
yeah.
And then it's also like, then where's the line?
Right.
Between, you know, oh, this was a joke, this is satire, into you're actually doing harm.
Yeah. Yeah. And not to say like their actions had anything to do with what happened.
Right.
But it's just it was poorly timed, you know? And I don't, obviously nobody could have seen that coming, but it just goes back to, like, if we want to sit here and say that we're better than one side or one side is better than the other, we got to stop treating each other the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that even answers the second question, and how might this affect their own mental and spiritual well-being by lowering their personal vibrations and creating potential negative consequences for themselves. I have not seen the story of the Jezebel article on any right-wing media, which is lucky for them, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's lucky for all of us, I think, at this point, because it would just, it's gonna make the divide bigger than it already is. And I think if we really want to, you know, make change, we need to make it smaller.
Yeah. There's a lot of divisiveness that came out of this situation because everybody's pointing fingers at each other. And honestly, I this article, like you said, poorly timed and just ready to spark another witch hunt.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. So in your opinion, do you think intent can cause minor negative experiences such as an inexplicable zit or a malfunctioning microphone, and still create lower negative spiritual vibrations and potentially lead to unintended consequences in the energetic field, even if those intentions are framed as humorous or satirical?
Yes. Well, like, straight up, it's a downward spiral.
Yeah.
As soon as you get onto, oh, I'm just going to do this one little thing, then I'm going to do this one little thing, and it's just going to add up, and it's literally, you're just going to get into such a negative place yourself.
Yeah.
To then be, there's so many sides to this, like the person wanting to do, like, hire the people off of Etsy, right? That negativity is just going to grow in your life. For the people doing the work, the spell work, I feel like you're taking on so much other people's negativity.
Yeah. When we talk about hexing, we'll go into how I feel about selling hexes online. Because I don't have a very pleasant view of that. I feel like scientifically there's no way to prove that energy affects people yet. If there was, this would be a very different conversation.
Well, I think it's getting there, but again, you got to go into like the musical side of things, because like talking about how, you know, when music's on, when people are doing surgery, you know, when they wake up, either their mindset can totally be changed, and I think that is the vibration of it.
Science also is gonna have to admit that they've
messed up
wrong about a lot of things, and that, you know, spiritual people are right, and I don't think they're there yet.
Yeah.
But to the other point of like, even if it's framed as humorous or satirical, framing somebody's downfall, even if it's minor, should never be treated as a joke, because it creates a collective mindset of laughing at somebody's difficulty.
Yeah. And I mean,
we all went through high school. We don't need to do it again, guys.
We don't. And it's also just like one of those things. Oh, it's a joke. If not everybody's laughing, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
So no, don't do it.
Yeah. Okay. So next is hexing, which is an energetic influence placed upon a person, place, or thing with the specific intention of creating negative experiences. Most witches do not hex or cast curses. So when we call hexing in witchcraft, it's black magic. Most witches do not consider themselves to cast black magic. Black magic is whenever you're doing something without a person's permission. So hexing normally comes up as the big one of you're purposely going out of your way to cause somebody's harm without their knowledge. Most witches don't do that. The number one credence of witchcraft is do no harm. So when there are witches that do that, they're going against the number one credence, which everybody has free will. Spirituality is a personal journey. You can do what you want. There are just consequences to your actions. The other big one is like love spells. Love spells are like super popular in movies and media and stuff like that. It's when you look at any history on witchcraft or spirituality or anything, love spells come up immediately as like, you can do it, but it's going to be awful. It's going to be a toxic relationship. It's going to be horrible because you're forcing that person into a position that they may have gone to willingly, but you felt that what you wanted was more important than that.
Yeah.
So it's anytime really like you're inferring your will over somebody else's.
Exactly.
Which is a very colonizer mentality.
It's true.
So yeah.
So on the opposite side of that, there are alternatives to hexing. One type being binding. This type of spell is designed to prevent your target from doing harm or sending out negativity into the world without negatively impacting their life directly. It's about stopping a harmful action. Example of this is like a freezer spell. It's just a simple spell, but it's a binding spell. It's to stop harm from coming towards you or another person because someone is actually intentionally sending out.
It's kind of like putting up a shield.
Yeah.
and you put it up over yourself or somebody else. You're not putting it on that person. You're still giving them the free will to do what they want, if that is cause harm. And you're not mixing up your karma into it.
You're just protecting yourself. You're like she said, putting up a shield.
Here's our very therapy answer is forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't about condoning somebody's actions, but about letting go of your own pain and separating from an experience. And it frees a person from the emotional shackles of allowing you to move on. So that's our very therapist, but also in a way Christian answer, because that's what they would tell you to do too.
Yep. And also, but it also breaks their power over you.
Yeah.
So.
Forgiveness is definitely about the person forgiving, not about the person asking to be forgiven.
Because most of the time they're not asking to be
forgiven, really. Yeah. I mean, I think they want to be released from the responsibility of it, but that's not really what forgiveness is about.
Yeah.
Either. We could probably do an episode on forgiveness.
Probably.
Write that down.
Thanks, guys. You just gave us another episode idea.
Yeah.
Next alternative spell to hexing is a remedy spell. This offers healing to the person causing harm with the intention that they correct their negative behavior. It suggests that destructive actions often come from a place of lacking love or fulfillment.
Mm-hmm. And to be clear about this, if you are casting something without their permission, it is still considered a hex. So even if you're like, oh, I'm doing it to clear them of their behavior, they didn't want that. They didn't ask you for that. So it's still on the same playing field as hexing. A way to do this in a way that's not violating their will as a person is to be like, I send them love and light, and I hope that they experience the world in the most loving version possible.
Mm-hmm.
But not, again, unless you have their permission, do not cast anything on a person, because it is a hex.
Yeah.
The next one is a mirror spell, or give them a taste of their own medicine. This is a powerful alternative and intends that your target only receives back the same energy that they put into the world. It's about their own actions and behaviors being mirrored back to them, allowing the universe to create justice without the caster actively creating new negative energy. The Jezebel article, for instance, describes wishing for like a zit or a microphone malfunction, which sounds more like a minor annoyance or a taste of their own medicine rather than serious harm. Magic is really about intent. So a mirror spell is kind of like the binding where you're putting up a shield, but like covering it with a mirror so it bounces off of you back to the person. This political commentator put a lot of hate and violence in the world, and he wished a lot of, maybe not wished, but he verbally stated he was okay with violence happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like he mirrored what happened to him. That's not to say like he deserved it or anything like that, but this should show you like the power of intent. You get back what you put out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, as far as Jezebel goes, I'm not in their, discussion room. I don't know what the vibe was. I can't speak on the intentions of the room. And then again, like, I was not in the room with the witches that created the hexes. I cannot speak to their intent. There's just like so many steps to this where it was like so many people who really you don't know what their intentions were involved. And that was what was so bad about this. Yeah.
There was a lot of hands in the pot. You have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, honestly. And this is one of the things you got to be careful about when, like, if you're just starting your spiritual journey, who you listen to, because you don't know who everybody's working with. You don't know their beliefs. You don't know if they are actually taking into account, the witch's read of just do no harm. We're going to be decent people. It's very much, there was just so many cooks in the kitchen where just so much unknown was happening that I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. And then, the hex was being passed through a lot of hands as well. And that just, like, I can't even imagine what the actual layers of what was being presented were.
And the fact that it got at least some attention, I mean, because we heard about it.
Yeah.
Even though on the political spectrum, luckily, it did not blow up like the way I thought yet.
It could.
It still could. But I almost think it got amplified because it got so much attention. You know what I mean? Then just the knowledge of it kind of put a little more oomph behind it, even though what happened after the fact.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it felt icky.
Yeah.
When I was reading the article, I was like, oh, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are the potential spiritual and energetic risks for the Etsy witch who perform these hexes, even when commissioned, given the negative energy that negative energy can affect the caster? I have a lot of opinions about this.
Go for it.
In 2020, when we were all locked inside, witchcraft got really, really popular. Witchcraft and smut got really, really popular.
Yes, it
especially on TikTok. And I remember so many girls being like, I'm going to summon my Fey Lord. And real people who are in the spiritual spectrum and people who come from Celtic lineages were like, no,
don't do that. Don't do that.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard. I can't speak to the knowledge of these Etsy witches. I know that I heard that the actual witch closed her Etsy shop, and it states like she's on vacation right now. Unless I like went and looked them up and went and looked their knowledge, I don't know the extent of that person's knowledge. And if one, they even knew what they were doing, that's like a big one of like, did you know what you were doing? And if you did, it should be your responsibility to tell your customer the potential hazards of doing this, that's my whole thing, like with online witches who hex people, who sell hexes, who sell love spells. Are you explaining what the possible backfire of this is?
Because I've also heard people say that like spells don't backfire and that type. Yeah, I've heard it. I was like, I don't think I believe that, because it goes back to the intention you're putting out there. If you believe in karma, karma comes around.
Yeah.
You know, consequences of your actions will happen. It might not happen immediately, but the consequences of your actions will come and bite you in the ass. Okay. And so it might not be that it quote unquote backfired. It's more, this is the consequences of what you're now attracting, because this is your intent that you put out.
Yeah. Which your intent was to assert your will over somebody else's, which is never okay.
Yeah.
It's
not.
in no reality of how morality in my mind works, is it okay for you to place your will above somebody else's?
Yes.
It's just not. So if this witch didn't know what she was doing, I hope that they educate themselves now. If they did know what they were doing, shame on them for not explaining what was going on.
Because also, even if that particular witch is on vacation, or they just got so much hate that,
or they were just afraid of the fallout.
Either one, this is, again, the consequences of the actions. Like, you're putting out that negative energy. It came right back.
Yeah.
It really did. So.
Yeah. There's a Bible verse, and I don't remember exactly what the verse is, but it talks about if anyone uses my word to mislead, you know, the one I'm talking about. I don't know where it is. I'm sure if we Googled it, we could find it. Yeah. But there's a verse that talks about if you use my word to mislead my flock, God will judge you harsher. And I've always applied that to like pastors, especially, who get up. I was like, I would be terrified to be a pastor and get up there and say something wrong, because
mishandling the word.
Yeah, I'm being held at a higher standard. That's how I feel about Etsy witches. Is if you're gonna sell your product online to people who may or may not be in the same world as us, you should be
held to a higher standard.
Yeah, it's your responsibility to make sure that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think we answered the second one.
Yes. For our last question in this little area, what specific steps would a spiritual practitioner recommend for someone to spiritually cleanse or protect themselves if they believed they were being targeted by hexes described in the Jezebel article? There's a lot.
So yeah, there's a lot of ways. The binding spells, the mirroring spells are great. Something as soft as evil eyes. If you feel like it's affecting you health-wise, that may be like you need to do some sort of cleanse or something like that. But the biggest protection against hexes, in my opinion, is your own vibration. If your vibration is up here, nothing down here is going to hit you. Nothing that's created on this level is going to hit you if your vibration is up here. A lot of the time, people get unintentionally hexed after breakups. Breakups is always like a very big one in getting hexed, because a lot of the time that partner is talking negatively about you, or their friends are, or their family is, or whatever. It's a big lump. And after the last two of my big breakups, I've noticed like physical signs of being hexed. And really the best thing is just to try to get my mental state in a good spot. So that's my suggestion.
I mean, for those who are literally starting out your spiritual journeys, look for the protection spells first. Like, look at, do the history, like do your histories, look in the histories, and then start looking at how can I protect myself first. wearing the evil eye, which I'm wearing mine today. Wearing the evil eye, doing spells for yourself because you have your own
self-love spells. Yeah.
Those are really good. Warding yourself is really good. Just like intentions for yourself. I think that is one of the biggest things is when you set your, zip yourself up, you have your intentions for the day, even if it's just a little, I'm doing an incense stick, just a little bit of incense. And I'm like, I am protected today. This is my energy. I am up here. I am protected today. Yeah. That is huge.
I keep Palo Santo in my car. I have a very emotionally draining job, hopefully for not too much longer. But my job is it pulls at my heart chakra a lot. So I burn Palo Santo to center myself before I go into work. And then when I leave work, I burn it again and I release as much. I mean, it's hard some days, but I release as much negativity as possible. I work with children. I try to release my kids. I feel so much responsibility for my kids, and I can't. That's not something I can take home with me because it brings me way down. Mm-hmm. So I try to release them after every work day. So that's a big thing that I do every day for myself. It's just the burning in the car before and after. So yeah.
And again, this is not the end all be all that you have to do this.
Find what works for you.
Yeah. That works for Izzy. I do mine in the mornings when I wake up and before I walk out the door. And then usually I'm good. Because I have set myself up to the place where I'm like, my vibrations are up here. We're going to have a good day. And even if it's a rough day, I've already set myself up. So I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's not going to fix me.
Yeah.
So
I would say like the one of the like the biggest known phrases in witchcraft is take what serves you. So definitely take what serves you and leave what doesn't.
Yep.
Okay. Our next little section, where are we at in time? Okay. Our words are power. So the immense power of words and how they can be amplified. If prayer is used with negative intent, it is in essence the same as hexing. It's about the intent and the energy behind it. It's so important to realize that no matter how you wrap it up, hate towards another group or person has consequences. It drains energy from everyone involved, disrupts personal and collective balance, and ultimately harms not only the target, but also the person harboring and projecting that hate. So let's take a little detour in our alternate universe over here. Say that Jezebel wanted to write an article about wishing a malfunction happened during Charlie Kirk's, next engagement. But they didn't go and get a hex from a witch. They did the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. The hex only amplifies the intent that's already there. Mm-hmm. So no matter how you pave it, words are what are the most powerful. And then, incense, spells, tea, whatever you use. A lot of my witchcraft comes out in my food. It's good though. Yeah, all good things, obviously. But it is it's just amplifying the intent that's already in us. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times your number one and most powerful tool is your words.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in here and give an example from our background, coming out of Christianity. One of the biggest ones was, I'll pray for you. Mm-hmm. My response to that now is, if I don't give my consent to be prayed for by that person, no, thank you. It's not rude It's not. They are literally intending something for me or over my life that I don't know about.
Yeah.
And so they don't have my consent.
You can also tell how it's like worded, because somebody who genuinely cares will usually say, "Can I pray for you?"
Okay.
Like, even if they're going to pray anyway, they'll phrase it in a question. And so, like, the few people that we have in our lives still from the church, which is mostly family, but when they'll say they know now to ask, "Can I pray for you?" And well, yes, please, because we know there's good intention behind it. If somebody looks you in your eyeball and goes, "I'll pray for you," they're not wishing you well. They're saying, "What I think you're doing is wrong, and therefore I'm going to accede to God on your behalf to embed my will for you in place of what you want." Because I think you're it feels so hateful to me.
It's so
now.
hateful. It's so condescending. I feel like anytime anybody does that now, I'm just like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I was like, no, thank you. I don't accept whatever intent that you are putting onto me because I don't like it. And I think that's something the Christian community needs to understand. It's not just a phrase of, a Southern phrase of a
free
sweetheart.
pass.
It's not. It's really not.
It's not a free pass to be a dick.
Yes. To be judgmental or to be holier than thou.
To think you have the right answer, because we're all just figuring it out here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So. That second one. Okay, second question in this section. What spiritual responsibility is implied for a publication like Jezebel or any entity when they publicly use language, even humorously, thank you, to promote or enact negative energetic intentions towards an individual?
We're dyslexic, guys.
It's been a long day, y'all.
We try our best. I see Jezebel less on the hook for this. I don't know about their writers. I don't know about their producers and editors or anything like that. I think they really did think that it was something that was going to be funny. I think more like they have a responsibility to be like, "Oh, we made the witch community look really bad."
Yeah.
And I feel like if it was any other mainstream religion, it would be taken a little more seriously of the damage that is possibly done. Again, we wish for the best outcomes in this. Which somebody lost their life, there isn't going to be a good outcome to it. But yeah, it made the whole community look
really bad.
Really bad.
Like since coming into spirituality ourselves, trying to like think back of what I thought spirituality was when I was in the church. It was something, it was other. It was nothing to really worry about. They're doing that over there, or it's something that's more for entertainment purposes. We see this stereotype of a witch in the movies and in entertainment industry. And it's like, oh, they do their little gems and woo, and sometimes you can get into the scarier sides of, oh, they're talking to entities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's so put in a box because it looks different.
Yeah.
But honestly, everybody's doing very similar things.
Well, and I mean, I'm sure we'll do an episode on this too eventually and talk about, like, at least for me, I think you're the same way, on why we call ourselves witches. It very much has so little to do with the actual practices of witchcraft and everything to do with the fact that so many people were killed because of this label that got slapped onto anybody that wasn't considered normal or didn't fall in line or anything like that. It's not really about, like, there's a practice, because every witch is different, every spiritual journey is different, every way we communicate not only with the world but with the divine is different. It just is. But I for sure have claimed the word witch in defiance of all of the people that were murdered because they didn't keep up the status quo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know. I had a conversation a while ago about it, and I was like, no, I'm a witch because it needs to be reclaimed and redefined, because the word witch has been such a negative thing.
Yes.
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a negative thing. I am a witch and I'm proud of it. So
yes. But this put us back 10 steps.
Oh yeah.
10 big steps.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be that much harder now for us to reclaim it. So that's the responsibility that I feel like Jezebel should take with this.
As we put a lot of potential danger on a whole community.
Yeah.
So,
and as far as the last question goes, how do Jezebel's specific negative verbal intentions, even when presented humorously, still align with the spiritual principle of directing negative energetic intent? I think they're feeling the karma from this pretty instantaneously. I know that the editor's note that is up where the article used to be says that their lawyer told them to take down the article. So this is something that for them possibly could have legal ramifications. Yeah, I feel like that was some pretty instantaneous karma for them.
And then also, just to put it out there, guys, like, the person that they were hexing, he was not putting out good intentions, good vibes, or good, he was not putting out good stuff into the world. But that doesn't give us the right to do the same. Hate does not cancel out hate. If we really wanted to make a difference, it would have been, how can we be a alternate force of love?
Yeah.
You know, and have these conversations, but have them lovingly and treat people with respect.
Yeah.
Even if we have different opinions, even if you're spiritual, religion, political, any of it, there's a way for us to have a discourse with even being on different sides of the coin, different sides of the spectrum, or different beliefs or ideas, and still be decent human beings.
Yeah. Yeah. And know that, like, for the trans community specifically, which he openly attacked constantly and was openly attacking when the event happened, all of this has just made it harder for them too.
Yeah.
It in no way has made the fight that they have to fight any easier as well. It's making it that much harder. Like, as far as I've seen, the blame is on them for this. And which makes me so sad, because it's like they're struggling so much as is. And now they just have to fight that much more. So
yeah. And even though we're not a part of that community, like, it's heartbreaking seeing people struggle that much, because I know what it feels like to be isolated and feel very, very low. Maybe I can't compare it. Like, it's not comparable.
No.
But I can empathize at least. I know what it feels like to be very, very low and then feel like you're being kicked down even more and just attacked at that point. And I'm like, so to our community, like to the trans community and every community that we touch, like, no, we love you guys.
Yeah.
Like, there are people on your side. We might not have very big voices, but we love you guys.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So to recap, the world of spirituality, including what's often sensationalized as witchcraft, is far more nuanced and ethical than headlines sometimes suggest. It's built on profound understanding of energy and intention.
Spiritual vibrations profoundly affect our mental, physical, and social well-being. And while hexing is a concept, it's a practice many witches approach with extreme caution, often choosing protective or mirroring alternatives due to an understanding of consequences and the potential dangers to the caster.
And remember, the power of your words and intentions is immense. Directing negative energy, whether through a traditional hex or a negative prayer, is energetically similar and will always carry consequences. Ultimately, choosing to spread hate in any form comes back to affect everyone involved.
We hope this episode helps clarify some of the assumptions and encourages a deeper, more informed understanding of the spiritual practices, moving beyond the headlines to the true energetic principles at play.
We love hearing from you. If you're on a similar journey or questioning your spiritual exploration, share your stories with us to build a supportive community.
Join us next time on Just Another Statistic, where we'll continue to explore all of it.